Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So in today's video, since this video will be posted on Valentine's Day, I thought it'd be cool to make what I'm calling camo hearts with this leftover camouflage yarn that I have. Things you are going to need is I'm going to use a size I USA hook. You're going to need a darning tapestry weaving needle. This goes by many names. Some leftover yarn, pair of scissors, and some sort of fiberfill. This is polyfill. I love using this. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to start with a slip knot. So just wrap that over your finger like that. Transfer like that, twisting it around. Now we're going to wrap this yarn around your finger as well. And then we're going to pull this back loop over that front one and off your finger while lifting up on the loop that's still on your finger. Now we're going to insert our size I USA hook into the loop and tighten. So we're going to start out by chaining 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to slip stitch back into that first chain. So that one that's of that dark green color, and that happens obviously to be the 4th chain from the hook. Okay, so here's the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go into the chain and yarn over, and we're going to slip stitch. So just pull it all the way through like that. Now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this ring that we just created, that's where we're going to put our stitches into. So we're going to insert our crochet hook in there. The first type of stitch that we're going to put in that ring, in that little hole there, is a treble crochet. So the way you make a treble crochet is you yarn over twice before going into the stitch, or in this case the ring. So yarn over, 1, 2. Now we're going to insert our crochet hook into the ring like that. We're going to yarn over and then bring it back through. Now we have 4 loops on our crochet hook. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2 again, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2 again, 1, 2. Okay? Now we're going to make 3 more of these treble crochets. So yarn over twice, 1, 2, then we go into the ring, yarn over, pull that through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Alright, that's 2 treble crochets we've made. 2 more to go. Yarn over twice, 1, 2, now go into the ring, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. One more, 1, 2, yarn overs, and then we're going to go into the circle, the ring, pull that through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Okay. Now we're going to make 4 double crochets. So with the double crochet, you only yarn over once before going into the stitch, or in this case into the ring. So we've yarned over, go into the stitch or the ring, yarn over, pull through to the front. And with double crochets, when you come back out to the front, you have 3 loops. So we're going to yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Because we only yarned over once before we went into the ring, we had fewer loops on our crochet hook to go through. So you might have noticed that you only had to yarn over, go through 2 twice instead of 3 times, like with the treble crochets. Just something to pay attention to. Alright, moving on. So that was the first one. We have 3 more to make. Yarn over, go into the ring, pull it through, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2. yarn over, go back in there, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. One more, and that loop right there, that's just the tail, so we can grab that and pull it out of the way there. Okay. Yarn over, go into the ring, yarn over, pull through to the front, 3 loops, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Okay, so what we're doing right now is we're basically crocheting half of the heart. Okay, so you can see if you grab your stitches and kind of bunch them together, you see that this is kind of half of the heart. Okay, we're right at that center point, and that's where we kind of want it to be a little pointy there. So we're going to go back to the treble crochet for a couple of stitches. But first, before crocheting our treble crochet, we want to chain 1. The reason that we're chaining 1 is because we're going to a bigger stitch and we don't want it to snag or pull. So this chain 1 kind of gives us a little bit more length or height for that next stitch in preparation for that next stitch. So now we're going to make our 2 treble crochets. So yarn over twice, 1, 2, go in there and just make your treble crochets like normal. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. One more, yarn over twice, go back in there, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Alrighty, so now we are just on the other side. Okay, so this was 1/2 of the heart if we're looking at it like this. To that first treble crochet that we made, that's the 1/2. And now we just made that second treble crochet there. Now we're beginning, or I should say that began the second half. We want this to be symmetrical. So to make this symmetrical, we have to think about what we did before this treble crochet. Oh yeah, we chained 1. Okay, so we're going to chain 1 on after this treble crochet. So there's a chain 1 on this side and then 1 on this side. And now we're going to go to the 4 double crochets that we made, because we made 4 double crochets before we did that chain 1. Now we have this chain 1, so we're going to make 4 double crochets on this side. So yarn over, go into the loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. That's 1, 2. That tail is just in the way. 3 and 4. All right. So this is what it's looking like so far. So we've done, I would say, maybe a good 2/3 of this half. We have this last third, which of course, if you compare it to this side, that's those 4 treble crochets that we made there. So we need to make 4 treble crochets over here. So that's what's going to be next. And even though this time we're going to a bigger stitch, a taller stitch, we're not going to chain 1. It'll still work out, okay? So yarn over twice, 1, 2 for that treble crochet, and we're going to make 4 of these. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. See how it made a nice heart? Okay, but we're not quite done, because here, remember, we chained 4 and then we did the 4 treble crochets. So now to make it completely symmetrical, we need some chains on this side. So we're going to chain 4 again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to go in this center where we've been going this entire time, and we're going to yarn over and we're going to slip stitch. So, you know, with the slip stitch, you just go all the way through like that. Okay? Now we're going to chain 1, cut our yarn, and pull, fasten off. Alright, and it makes this very cool little camo heart. Alrighty, so I've already made one. So now we're going to combine these two. And this is where that fiberfill comes into place. Okay? So your heart should be about the same size. And now we're going to just join them together. So we're going to use the yarn that we've been working with all along. And we're going to pick a spot on each heart. And it should be the same spot on each heart. So you don't want to start here in this heart, but then start down here on this heart, right? You want to find the same spot. So we're going to put them together now. Make sure that the front side is facing out. So you should be looking at the front side of both hearts when you put them together. We have our extra yarn here. So we want to make sure that we are entering the same stitch on both hearts. So for this one, we're going to go in that first chain there. Okay. And then that corresponds to that chain there. Okay, so we're just gonna, it's the back of the chain, but it's still the first chain. Go through there. So now we're essentially in the same stitch on both hearts. We're going to hook on our yarn here. So yarn over and pull through. And then we'll chain 1 to secure it. Now we're just going to slip stitch around. Okay, so the next stitch is there for that one, for this front heart, and then the next stitch is there, that one for the second heart. So yarn over and slip stitch. Try not to grab any parts that you shouldn't be grabbing on to, like I just did. And if that happens, just take it out. So yarn over and pull all the way through, slip stitching. Okay. You can pull on this tail to make sure it's tighter. Alright, and then we're just, like I said, just going to slip stitch our way through around the heart. So go into the same stitch on each heart, slip stitching where you should, making sure that you're lining up the stitches. Now you might be wondering, where's the polyfill part going to come in? When are you going to start with the fiberfill? Well, I want to secure a bit of the heart. I want to close a bit of the heart up first, and then I'm going to start stuffing it. So yeah, just continue putting slip stitches around these two hearts, binding them together essentially. And once we get a little bit more than halfway, that's when we're going to start stuffing this camo heart. And see how it's leaving a nice little border too, those slip stitches. So it's kind of cool as well. Alright, so now we're at this chain 1, so you can go into the stitch, into the chain 1, and then into the chain 1 there, and then slip stitch that way. Okay, so here's the second treble crochet, go in it, and then the second treble crochet is there for that one, so go in it, then yarn over and go all the way through. If you missed the previous chain 1, this is what I did. Go into the chain 1 like that, And then with the other chain one, which is there, insert your hook to it like that. Now yarn over and slip stitch across. Okay? And then just continue slip stitching. I really like this border that the series of slip stitches is leaving in this camo heart. Alright, so we're almost back around and we're almost to the point where we're going to start stuffing. If you start stuffing too soon, then it's going to spill out. So that's why you want to connect the majority of whatever it is you're working with before you start filling. Okay. So now we can start stuffing. Okay, we've gotten this much in there. So let's make this loop a little bit bigger. And these tails, you can cut them down or you can just stuff them in there as well. The tails that you're not going to use, that you're not working with, right? All these tails can just be stuffed in there. It's going to be in there with the fill. So we'll take some of this and just tuck it in there. Just push, push, push. Alright, take some more. And you kind of want to separate it. You don't want to take huge pieces. You want to be able to kind of mold it as you want. The more of it that's together, the harder it is to mold because you're basically working with one solid piece. But yeah, just keep stuffing. This is really fun. And I like how it kind of fills out the heart. Alright, making that once 2D, essentially 2D heart, a little bit more 3D. Okay? So if that is enough for you, then you can stop there, or you can start to connect some more, and then once you have about 1 or 2 more stitches, you can start stuffing in just the remainder that you want to get in there. And make sure the filling goes to all areas of the heart. And then after you finish stuffing, all of it in there, then you can just bind those last 2 stitches. Alright, so I'm going to go grab some more of that fill and then I will continue. Alright, as you see in the back, I got a little bit more fill, so I am going to start slip stitching some more, a couple more stitches before I fill any more. So just go in to one stitch on this heart and then into the corresponding stitch on the other heart and slip stitch. That's all you're doing. To that one, let's see. Okay, so now we're back at this chain 3 or 4 that we made. So just slip stitch into the first chain and find the corresponding chain on that side of that heart and slip stitch. Alright, so now I have just that little bitty part left open, so I'm going to make my loop big, and then I'm going to grab the remainder that I want to stuff with and just start stuffing my heart. Okay. Moving it around to the different places so that it fills out the heart in all the right places. Okay. And you don't want it to be so jam-packed that it spills out through your stitches, okay? You shouldn't see the fill coming through your stitches. Alrighty, so now let's finish this up. So I'll sink my hook back in there, and then I'm just going to finish going through these chain stitches and slip stitching. And then one more down here, this last one. I'm going to go in the corresponding last one on the other heart. Alright, once you've done your last slip stitch, just yarn over, chain 1, cut your yarn, and fasten off, pull through. Okay, then you can use your weaving tapestry darning needle to either weave through some stitches like that, pull it in, go back the other way, and then if you want, you can just insert your needle through the center of the work, pulling the yarn through, so it's essentially going to be left on the inside. And if any comes out, you can kind of stretch it a little bit to make it go back in. And yeah, there you go. If there's any fiberfill that's sticking out, just kind of pull it away. All right. And yeah, this is a cute little camo heart. So if you have a significant other in the military and you want to be romantic, but you want to keep it macho because, you know, a lot of the men and women in the military are macho and tough, then you can send them a heart made out of some camouflage yarn. It's really easy and really quick to make, and it's just really cute. I mean, how can you look at this and not smile? So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And how do you say it in Spanish? Feliz Día de San Valentín? Creo que sí. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I will definitely see you in the next one. If you liked it, definitely hit the like button. And in the meantime, happy crocheting.